Welcome everybody to IrishbullyTV. Mark Davis here. You're joining me here today with Willo Moore,
Blue Line Bully,
and he's going to do an interview today about his dogs. So Willo, first of all, let me thank you for accepting the interview.
no, it was a great pleasure, yeah.
And I suppose I was inspired when I seen your post on Facebook about how China has helped you through significant stages of your life. And I suppose, would you like to talk to us today about that?
Well, basically what it was is we got into the bullies about 2015, and then my first bully, he got poisoned on me, so I never kind of stepped away from them for a while because that broke my heart. So then after that, then I got back into them in 2017, and then I bought China off Roman Seawood, and when I went to buy her, I asked Roman, I want a female pup, I want a female bitch. So all the pups, he opened up the cage, and all the pups were kind of in a line, but she was the last or second last pup of them all, and I said, I want a bitch. So when I called them out, she was the only one to run out to me, so I said, I'll take that one. And he laughed, he said, why? I said, she picked me, I didn't pick her. And ever since that day, that dog has been my best friend. Like, everyone says that all the dogs are the best friends, but she has been my best friend. She's been my emotional support animal more than anything else. I'm battling with homeless, battling with drugs, mental health. She's done everything for me. She's always sat by my side. At my lowest points in my life, she used to sit there. She used to go mental if she wasn't in the same room with me.
Okay.
I've often been upstairs and be in the bedroom and I'd be crying over all the depression and over everything. And she actually broke one of my bedroom doors to get into me and to lie in the bed beside me because she knew how bad it was. So I could never turn me back on the breed. It was the best breed that I could ever pick.
Strange but good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was weird because I never thought, I knew a man and his dog can always have so much of a connection, but I never thought how much of a connection you can actually have. For a dog to break down a door, to get in and lie in the bed beside you, knowing that you were crying and upset, was unbelievable.
No,
I mean,
it's touching.
It was unbelievable because I didn't have the best childhood in the world, but my dogs were just my way of life, of getting away from everything.
Okay.
The shows then, my first ever show, I brought my first dog to, and I was just looking around at them, and then I seen Mick O'Connor's Otis. Then I was just like, right, this is what I want to do. I want to show dogs, I want to get into the dog scene more. And then after that, then I seen a few of the other lads' dogs, and then I used to always kind of get stuck on stuff, because I didn't know much about the breeding. So then my good friend out of Bad Boys Bullies is John Coleman. He actually then used to always say, give me a text if you ever get stuck.
Yeah.
So he helped me an awful lot. So after that, then I was constantly just buying a dog, because I wanted loads of bullies, but it wasn't actually what I was looking for or looking towards for. So he gave me advice. He said, well, don't keep buying. Buy something that you want to visualise, something that you want to breed it towards or go across. So after I done, I took his advice and he came across to me. That's what I done. I never went back. Never came back again. I went back to China. After China, I bought one other dog that's out in Cowan now at the moment with a friend of mine, and then I bought Mr. Ireland. But China is, she's human. She's not even a dog.
She's a lovely dog.
She's the best thing, to me. She gives everybody a warm welcome. Everybody that sees her, for such a big dog, she's so welcoming. She's not intimidating at all.
Where do you think you'd be if it wasn't for China?
Dead.
Why?
1,000,000,000% dead.
Why do you think that?
Because I was going down such a wrong road and a wrong path. To believe it or not, I was at one stage when I was at my lowest point. All I used to do was feed myself in the morning. Well, feed myself just one bowl of cereal, made sure my dogs were fed, and then I go along my day about my drugs. Never feed myself, not taking care of myself, but make sure my dog had. And I think that's why she always loved me, because she knew that I was in such a bad place, but you always took care of her.
So it was like every time you came back home to use drugs, you fed the dog.
Yeah.
And your habit.
And my habit and my dog, yeah. She used to actually, when I'd be going to be doing my drugs, she'd actually come up beside me, be hitting my leg, and she'd be crying, as if to say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing? So I never took heed to her because it was in the height of an addiction at the time. Then when I started to get away from the addiction a bit more and I started seeing her, I started copping on, she's actually caring for me, she's looking out for me. So I loved her, I love her. The diamonds couldn't buy the dog.
It's crazy how they have that instinct or intuitive to know that you're hurting yourself or you're harming
That's
yourself.
harming yourself, yeah. There it is, it's very, very true. Very true. One of China, it's actually China's identical pup. Her owner, God bless her, took a stroke a few weeks ago, and that dog hasn't been the same since, because the owners after took a stroke hasn't been the same. The last 2 days the owners after in the hospital now opened up her eyes, and this morning then we got good news that she spoke and opened up her eyes, and that dog hasn't stopped running around the house.
Okay.
So it's the amazing dogs. I've bred 7 different breeds of dogs, and not one of them dogs, dogs have come close to an XL bully or the bully breed.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't choose any other breed. They may have a bad name for themselves because of all the bad publicity that they want to give out, but anybody spend 10-20 minutes with one of them will see how much lovely they are, how much of a loving dog, caring dog.
I've got that myself as well, other people. So, do you want to tell us a little bit more than you mentioned, like that you've always come back and fed China, so do you want to talk about our diet and our exercise and bloods or whatever?
Like I said, I used to get stuck on an awful lot of stuff, and I'd ask Mick or I'd ask Jono, and he'd tell me then this would be the best way to go about it, like the best feeds, weigh the dog and give them the right amount. So then I got on to the lads out of Advanced Kennels, and they were helping me out as well. Based on Jaff, they told me like what raw feed to give them and which would be the best for my dog, and then I used some of their supplements as well, which I was never big into the supplements, but then when I used them, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Like some of their, they have drops for puppies for newborn litters. I won't even have a litter out.
Okay.
It's like the magic fruit.
Okay.
It's so good. So I used to just give them then the raws, like salmon, tripe, beef. I give them heart, lung, then I give them I always mix in egg, coconut butter, the real coconut butter, the real thick one. And once in a blue moon then I give them a little bit of a treat, like a bit of a boiled ham or something, just as a small little treat if they do something really good. Other than that then, that'd be my diet for them.
So they're
plenty of exercise as well.
They're on a raw diet?
Yeah. Until I have China having a litter of pups or something, I'll turn it over then so they can't get any bacterial infections, sugar pups or anything.
You're going to say something about the exercise anyway?
Yeah, the exercise, when they got so big, I never thought that they needed so much exercise. I knew that they needed an awful lot of exercise, but not as much. So I've often walked my dog like from here to the square and back is a mile. So I used to have to do that like 2 to 3 times just to get some of that energy out of him. She was just way too heavy. There was nothing I could do about it. She was just so big and so broad. She was great. And so that's all we used to do, was just walk her all the time. Like if the kids put their coats on or anything, she thinks she's going with them automatically all the time. This stuff, it's mad. It's amazing though to have that warm feeling all the time, that they still have that loving and cuddly fur for you, like, or not fur, like a cuddly emotion for you.
Aside from the walking, what other exercise do you do with the dogs?
At the moment I do mostly hill climbs at the moment to build the muscle on the dog.
Okay.
They enjoy it as well. We mainly just do the Hellfire Club, just up the road, or any of the steepest hills that we can get around close. We've also done the staircase to heaven, that big long walk.
The sleepers?
Yeah, the sleepers, yeah. Which I don't like really walking, it's too far.
It's
horrible, but it's great for the dogs. it's very good for that. Then a friend of mine, he has a weight harness, a weight pulling harness.
Okay.
So the odd time, I wouldn't be majored into it because I don't want to be pulling joints out and stuff like that. Hill walks, short sprints. The flirt pole I don't do because you could be just going from back to back, so the dog will still have bursts of energy, so I'd rather have them hill climb or a hill run start to bottom.
Okay.
Because there's nothing better than them up a hill.
And where are you walking really on the dog there, on their shoulders and
basically backs to the legs, shoulders and chest there.
Yeah.
That's
just that kind of pulling and pushing, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, if I can, most of the time, there's restraint bands which we actually use just for humans. I would put that through a harness and I'd be holding it, or I'd get a friend to hold it and I'd be just messing with a bit of feed and getting it to come to the feed. Because that way it's still getting to work all of its body and it's not going to be able to pull a joint or pull a bone out on its body. Because the restraint band will let it release a little bit, so it's not pulling so hard, like, because you can snap a dog's bones, as everyone knows, so easy. So if you have the 2 restraint bands, it can stretch a bit, but can only stretch a certain amount. So the dog's getting that bit of a stretch on the ligament or tendon, and it's getting to build it at the exact same time.
Okay.
But other than that, I use the likes of the bully beef as well, because that's very good for bulking out the dogs. And then now Advanced Kennels have brought out an all-in-one, which is a mixture of everything in it, which is another superfood. Okay. It's another great thing. So, but one thing I advise everybody not to do, and because there's so many people that's getting into the dogs and they don't take much advice. They think, oh, I'll go out and I'll show my dog off, and they walk the dog for miles. Dogs' joints ain't together till after 1 year of age. They don't actually lock in place until after 1 year of age. So any really excessive walking that they shouldn't be doing is only bad in the joint, weakening the joint, the ligament, the tendon, the cartilage. So just don't.
I would tell some of the young lads, the rule is 5 minutes per month.
So now basically, every time I get a pup, it'd be in the garden just letting them run around, because that's as big as I need it to be running around, or as big as the spaces I need it to be running around.
And that's all we do with our little one, just bring her down to town and back up.
Barkley, just a little short
I bring the other 2 separate and give the XL a run, and he waits for her to come back and tries to rub the ball on her. And he's like, I'm alright with that.
My little fella now, Mr. Ireland, he does the same. Now I don't think he's ever actually going to grow out that puppy stage.
Yeah.
He thinks that he's an XL. He does be trying to keep up with her, and like he just be like 5, 6 dog lengths ahead of him. He just can't get it.
I think that's why he throws the towel in, he runs, and he's just left behind. He goes, I'll get her when she comes back.
That's enough now. I'll let her come to me instead, This chasing isn't working.
Anyway, sorry I'm interrupting you.
No. So, but that'd be it really. And now there's even like a lot of friends of mine now as well as getting into the dogs, and I just try and pass on the knowledge that other people passed on to me and help them out, because there's so many of us like that just, oh, that's a lovely dog, I want to buy it. Where when Jonathan Coleman was telling me, he was like, look at the structure, make sure there's no flaws, no east-west, no high rear, cow hawked, under or overbites, stuff like that. So that's what I start looking towards, and ever since I've done that, my breeding programs come on phenomenal. I have better dogs now. Not that I'm dissing anybody that I bought dogs off, but I do have better dogs now, because now I know exactly what I want it from the bull breed. I know exactly what if I want an XL, or what I want out of the XL, or if I want it out of that pocket. At the moment now, at home I only have the pocket and the XL, but I am going back towards my XLs just on the point of they're just more that they're higher powered and they're just more me. I just think that they're better. That they are what a bully should be, is the XL, my personal opinion, and anyways.
Yeah. I suppose it's everybody to their own. I've seen pockets that are very good as well, loads of drive.
Derek Turner, he has a pocket down there that's phenomenal.
TJ,
things nearly overtaking his van or his car when he's driving. It's a phenomenal dog.
Yeah.
I've seen pockets run and be functional and stuff like that, but that dog is running lengths. It's not running short bursts, it's running lengths, and fair play to him for that. Like,
he's won a couple of championships.
Yeah, Fair play to him, like where nowadays everyone's saying, I have a pocket bully, and can your pocket bully run? It can, and it's running sideways or it can't run straight. But Derek is doing a phenomenal job with his dog as well. He actually is, fair play to him. One day the bull is gonna get the gratitude that it needs. It really
Definitely
is.
Definitely, I think it's getting there. Like, there's a lot more of them in every community now.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just getting
everywhere, every estate, every area you go to, there's a bully.
Which, now, providing that people are doing the right thing with them, it should reduce the stigma, because more people are getting familiar with them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping. I really do hope that happens. Look at me, I'm a hard man, I have a dog. Dogs don't make you hard. Dog is there as a companion, not to make you be a hard man.
But, so for those people, have you any advice for those people that may watch this, who could be doing better with a dog?
Yeah, stop. Ask someone that knows an awful lot about dogs, and that will give you the straight answer. Not someone that'll beat around the bush, will just tell you straight to the point. You're doing this wrong, you're doing that right. Dogs, just because the bullies look big, evil and mean, they're really little softies at heart.
Yeah.
So don't be trying to change the mentality of the dog, or I want a dog that will bite you or anything like that. If you want stuff like that, fuck off away from the game. Because you're going to ruin it for the rest of us that actually do love and care for the breed.
Or educate yourself, like, and
like
and learn
there's
to
so
love
many pages on the likes of Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to go and ask someone.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to go and ask someone. Like, I wasn't afraid to go and ask someone, because if you don't ask, you won't know, or you won't get. So don't be afraid to do that. The dog is gonna love and care for you. Well, like, you can have a dog. Some of the dogs out there, 60 kilo, 70 kilo dog, big XLs, big double XLs and stuff like that. What are you gonna do if that dog turns on you and you can't take care of that dog? You create a problem now that you can't take care of. Or what you're going to do if a savage is one of your kids, one of your neighbour's kids, an old woman, man, anybody at all, and you can't handle that dog. You're the creator of that problem.
But the key to all of this, I think, is education, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Like, and not to be afraid to ask people what you need to do.
Yeah, like I said, like, we're out the likes of Mick and Jonathan and stuff like that, and a few others that, like, that I can't think of straight off the top of my head, like, that actually helped me an awful lot with them. An awful lot helped me with them.
Yeah.
And I'd say they probably got sick of me asking them so many questions. But they actually, in the end, when I was talking to them, they're like, no, we didn't mind, because we knew that you were more interested in the breed and not just, I have a bully, here's a picture.
I think what happens is it lights a fire in those people as well.
Yeah.
You know, that they've someone else who has the same passion that they have.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just handing you the knowledge that they gained.
Yeah, pass it on, which is the right and the correct thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Like Hugo, China's pup from last year, is 11 months old, and I can guarantee you, I'll say it on camera, I guarantee you, at 2 years of age, he's going to be the biggest XL in this country.
Can I ask, is he out Hugo as well?
No,
Okay.
he's actually out of a dog called Tank, which is a son of Sultan, the biggest blue bully in the world. And 11 months old, and that dog is showing so much potential, so size, mass, and he's a big baby at heart.
Yeah.
And unfortunately we couldn't get him down today to get any pictures or videos of him, but he is one that I'm very, very proud of, and he's owned by my friend Decky Gallagher of Cartel Kennels, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And he just be asking me things, like, and he's a grown man.
Yeah.
And some grown men or women that has them dogs wouldn't want to ask a young one about them, but it's not about the age, it's about the knowledge. Do you know what I mean? It's about the knowledge of the dog, and he's doing a phenomenal job with the dog as well. Like, I couldn't be happier with that dog. Like, not that I'm not happy with any of the rest of them, it's just he's doing, I keep a closer connection with him all the time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be happier with him. I could not be happier. Like, he's after really making me push forward to produce a better XL as much as possible as I can, with the friendly good traits of a
And
good
I
dog.
think that's the key, isn't it? To always try and produce better than your last breed.
Yeah.
You
I don't. People that I was talking to over the dog games, they were saying like, "What do you think of it?" And I was like, "I don't think I'll ever produce another Hugo. I don't think I'll ever produce." Which I could. You never know. It might be this year, it might be next year, it could be 5 years from now. But once I'm not looking where there's an awful lot of people getting into the game that are just breeding, throwing any dogs together just to get the money.
Yeah.
Where when I first heard about the dogs, I was like, "Oh, that's some amount of money. That's some amount of money." But then when you get into the game and after years you're looking at so many dogs, you're like, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, and that's right. So now my personal, and I can't say I do like the money side of it, but my real point of the whole lot is to getting the correct dog.
Yeah.
The correct dog, correct mentality and correct temperament.
If you're doing all of those things right, the money will follow.
Yeah. The problems are in it for you when you do things wrong.
Well, when you do things wrong, you're
Yeah.
left with your litter.
Yeah.
Because no one wants them, because you spot the flaws.
You spot the flaws, that like micros, when they first came out, I wasn't too keen on them, but then I seen how much of they were actually the last of a new stage of bully, which was actually okay. So I have another breed now at the moment with a good friend of mine, Geronimo King, from Belfast, up the north. I won't say which dog it is, but Geronimo has a lovely, lovely, lovely dog there that I'm very, very interested in, and through talks, it's going ahead now. Thank God it's going ahead, and it's got us closer. I knew him from the dog game, but it's got us closer as well, which I like as well. When you meet genuine people like that, you get closer to them, and you become a lot more friendship with them.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? Like I have friends in different parts of the world through the bullies that I've never even thought I'd even talk to people from them countries, and they're lovely, genuine dog men.
Same here. Same here. I talked to, we call him Geronimo King as well.
Yeah.
You know, I talk to a lot of people, spending most of my time talking to people about dogs. So, that breeding is going down in March.
It's going down in March. Hopefully pups here for May.
Okay.
And half the litter's being kept back. I want to keep it back for my own breedings and just to push it towards something that I want to breed, because eventually I don't want to breed off other people's kennels. I want to be able to breed and produce my version of the bully.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their versions of the bully.
And I think that's where everybody is trying to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
To where you're happy with what you have
But
yourself.
I do see an awful lot of people jumping on bandwagons because another person has a lovely or breeding great quality dogs, and they're just saying, "Oh no, I'll just go with them, I'll just go with them." But after so many years of being in it myself, I want to breed a bully that people can say, you can tell that dog's out RealBlueLine bullies. That's why when after my first dog got poisoned on me, I bounced back, and because his name was Blues, we used to call him Big Blues Close. So that's why we come up with RealBlueLine bullies.
Okay.
It was off the back of his name.
Okay. So he's still very much part of.
Yeah, he started all off me. Sadly, only lasted 6 months before he was poisoned, but I bounced back, and now look what I'm at to producing.
So, if anybody from the general public is watching this video and they're kind of thinking they love the look of the dog and all, but they have loads of fears about them because of the hype, what would you say to those people?
Don't be. Go to someone's house or a friend of theirs that has them, or ask, do they know someone that has a bully, and ask them to go to the bully that they're looking for, like the Micro, XL, Standard, Pocket, all the license, and spend a bit of time with that dog.
Okay.
And you will realise that big, bold, evil doorman look is just a big softy at heart.
Yeah.
It's like everything, the BFG, the big friendly giants, that's all they are. That's literally all they are, is big friendly giants, and the most loyalist pet. If a dog is able to, if I went to counsellors, went to drug counsellors, and none of them done it for me. My XL bully China, she took me away from it. I'm doing leaps and bounds now. I could do a backflip from where she took me from a very, very dark, deep place to where I am now. I'm not there yet, but I'm closer than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Maybe I'd be lying. I wouldn't sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm 100% clean and this, that, and that. No. But my dogs will keep me head straight.
Well, look, you're a lot more functional than you were, and I mean, you've a functional bitch out there that you can, you know, she's your foundation, and you've a dog there now that is a good solid foundation as well for studying.
I'm at the moment looking for a stud for him, and I've got a few people coming to me, and for the people that be actually watching this as well, I will only be breeding me pocket bully with certain females, and it's not to put anybody else's females down. They could have the world's best pets behind them. It's just what I'm trying to breed it towards, what my vision of what I want to get in the end out. And then I'm having people saying, would you breed your pocket bully with a Frenchie? And I'm thinking to myself, why would you even want to round the breed like that? Frenchies with Frenchies, bullies with bullies. Don't go round it. And a few people then text me then when I used to say it's only selective bitches, and they were just like, well, what's so special about your dog? It's not about my dog being special, it's just what I want to breed it towards, what my vision is. And yeah, he's shown an awful lot, and really for an 11-month-old dog, he's shown some potential. Like, I put him beside my friend's 2-year-old bully a while ago, and it made it look like it was a pup, and he's only 11 months old. Like, I got him off JR from up in Belfast, and his dog Lola was bred off with OG Camp Rocky, which is a phenomenal dog in my eyes. I love him, lovely, beautiful dog, great temperament, the whole lot. I actually looked into sons and daughters of his, and all of them has been everything that I really wanted. So I ended up buying the dog, and he's never let me down. I love the bones him. Same with Rohan, when I bought him, that was Zora and Kong, and I couldn't have asked for a better breed there as well. Like, I always do often text Roman and tell him, like, you don't know how well that dog has actually took me from bad places, and hopefully when he sees this he'll actually understand how much he's actually helped me out from selling me that dog to where it's after bringing me. It's after bringing me to be a better family person, a better loving and caring person. And that's all I've ever wanted, and now I've got it. I've finally got a bit of stability in my life down through my dogs.
So Willo, I suppose, is there anything you'd like to add that we haven't kind of covered?
What would I like to add? No, just that they're the best ever.
Right, so Willo, I suppose that brings us to the end of the interview, which I think was a very good interview, you know, and I hope the viewers appreciate your story and you opening up about your life and how, I suppose, China has brought you through thick and thin with it.
Yeah, really has.
You know, so look, it was lovely seeing you. And
it was great to meet you, and I'm very thankful that you wanted me on the show as well. Thanks very much to the both of you as well for it.
Oh, look, we're all
great opportunity.
I've worked with so many people over the years who have spoke about their mental well-being and how their horses helped them through this or that, you know, but when I seen your post, I thought this is an opportunity to now capture that. We landed on that. Thank you very much for watching this. Willo Moore and Mark Davis and Angela Birch, photographer there in camera 1, signing off for IBTV. Thank you.